Have you ever felt that you was meant for something more but not quite sure how to go about it? Or you know what your purpose is, but fear and anxiety and uncertainty kicked in? Well, today we're going to talk about it right here on Girl Talk.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. Wouldn't it be crazy? But you still amaze me. If I find my way home, yeah.
Hello, and welcome to Girl Talk with your girl, Dr. Donya Yvette, where every voice matters and every story inspires. Today, we're going to dive into something very powerful and something meaningful about finding your voice and giving your voice about the calling of your voice. So you may want to grab a notepad and take some notes because we're going to just dive right into it. I'm excited about this topic. It's very meaningful. And we have a very, very special guest, and I just cannot wait for you guys to meet her. So let's give a warm welcome for the beautiful Miss Montrella Cowan. Welcome in, sis. How are
Hello.
you?
Hi, Ladanya, Dr. Ladanya. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for being
Great.
on Girl Talk. I'm excited to have you here.
Mhm.
I just couldn't wait to have this conversation with you and get your expertise and your knowledge about helping you find and give voice to your calling.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what you're all about. Is that what you teach and coach about?
Absolutely. Yes. Just like you're doing,
Mhm.
we all have a gift that has been assigned by God. And a lot of us, believe it or not, Dr. Ladanya, are not living it.
Mm.
We're not living it.
Right. You're right
Yeah.
about that. You're right about that. So hold that thought because we're going to dive right into it. But before we get started, I want the audience to know just a little bit about who you are and what you do. So tell us a little bit about who you are.
Yeah, so I've been a high ticket coach for over 15 years now. I've been trained as a therapist as well. So as I'm helping people to, bring fruition to their calling, I also help them to deal with the past in order to create that future.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I like that. I like that. So we're just going to get down right to it. All right. So let's start with the big question, Montrella. Okay. So what does it actually mean to have a calling? And
Mm,
how do you know if you found it?
yes. That's a great question because I think that a lot of us spend so much time comparing ourselves to others that we actually miss, right? We're looking in
Mhm.
the mirror, but we're not seeing it. We're on this hunt to find it. And the unfortunate part of that journey of discovery is that we're comparing ourselves. We're so busy comparing ourselves
Mhm.
rather than recognizing that we're made in his image, but we are our own unique expression of it.
Ooh,
So it's
isn't that the
important to
truth?
first tap in. Like we have to look within to
Mhm.
find those talents and gifts. And trust me, God has given us a lot of them. But we're so busy outside and looking at the what's trending, right? It's
Mhm.
similar
Mhm.
to, an outfit, right? Just because it's
Mhm.
trending, don't mean it complements your body type, right? It's the
Absolutely.
same.
Absolutely.
So we have to stop comparing, really start to look within. And it's usually the things like that people compliment you about or that
Mhm.
people call on you about. Hello, calling.
Mhm.
You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Yeah.
That is right. And you're absolutely right. I often talk about sometimes about finding my voice. I
Mm,
have a coach, a mentor, and
good.
we often talk about that and when speaking events, hosting
Yes.
events, just being a speaker or a
Yeah.
motivational speaker in general. A lot of times it's hard for us to find our voice, and I say that all the
Yes.
time. And I know, knowing what your calling is and what your purpose is, your voice will come,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because we really don't want to play small either. We don't want to
Yes.
shrink. We want to, you know, master our craft and everything, because
Yes.
we really have that special gift that nobody else have. And I
Yes.
think that that's important to find your voice. So,
Yes.
a great point to that. So, I
Yes.
want to talk about overcoming fear and doubt right now. And
Mm.
so, let's get a little bit real. So, what holds many of us back from stepping into our calling? What does
Sure.
it mean? Why do we hold back so much?
Yeah. I think it's the biggest thing is fear. Yeah.
Mm,
We're afraid because a lot of us are surrounded by loved ones, right? Friends and family who
right.
really are our biggest discouragers.
Mhm.
Like we
Mhm.
know deep in our heart, like that we're supposed to not be playing small as we
Mhm.
are, and that we're supposed to be taking that quantum leap.
Mhm.
And yet the people around us are comfortable where we are. And so
Mm.
we take their feedback, which is, "Mm-mm, you don't need to do that. And,
Mhm.
just stay right there." And so
Mhm.
we play small out of fear. We don't want to feel alone. And, a lot of the most successful, wealthy folks tell us, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Our friends are always telling us, our mentors, it's lonely at the top.
Mhm.
So they are in fear, not recognizing the fact that once you step into your greatness, you actually empower
You
others
better come on and
to
say
step
that.
into theirs.
You better come on
So
and say
that
that.
fear is huge.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Indeed, fear
you
of
know, and
failure, and fear of judgment, fear of not being seen or heard,
yeah,
or even
yes,
thinking that we're not even enough, right? I
yes.
think that's where a lot of the fear come in, and then what the imposter syndrome comes in when that happens, I think.
Oh,
So it's like, who do you think you are? You start doubting
hmm,
yourself with the fear
yes,
that comes in. And
yes.
I think a lot of us have that, in us sometimes. Sometimes you kind of second guess yourself and why am I really doing what I'm doing? Am I
Yes,
really called to do this?
yes,
So
yes.
how do you move from the imposter syndrome and the self
Yeah,
doubt? How do you
yeah,
do that?
yeah. Part of that is getting out of our own way.
Mhm. Mhm.
'Cause,
Mhm.
if you think it's all about yourself,
Mhm.
then of course you're going to feel like an imposter, right?
Right.
But once you recognize that your talents and gifts are actually not for you, that God
Mhm.
has given them to you to share with the world,
Mm.
right? We're
Right.
doing his work. And so when we realize it's not about us, but it's about that person who has been praying every single morning for your
Mhm.
voice,
Absolutely.
who have been in search for the answers, who are stuck in a situation, maybe at a job, or they can't reach another level in their business, or
Mhm.
they're stuck in a crappy marriage, right? Or
Mhm.
they don't know how to, guide their children. They feel just as lost.
Mhm.
'Cause nowadays, the children think they're the boss, right?
Exactly.
As a mom,
Exactly.
I always say, like, our children, we think that we're here to teach them, but I do believe that they're also here to teach us.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We
So
actually
we
can
want
learn a lot from our kids. They whether they know it or not. They are sponges. I'm a sponge as well of learning, and we actually can learn from each other. So they are a blessing to us as well. That's true. That
absolutely, and
is
they are
absolutely
here to teach us. I know for every grade that my son elevated to, it made mommy stretch, especially in private school.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so true. That is so
Yeah.
true.
So yeah, so recognizing that it's not for us, but it's for the folks that we're supposed to touch.
Mm.
It's a divine assignment. And I think
Mhm.
when we can remember that, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert. It doesn't matter if you don't think you're educated enough. It doesn't matter if you feel that you're inexperienced.
Mhm.
You are equipped to help that other person. A wise person once said, all you have to do is be one chapter ahead. So
That's
if
right.
you made it through, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
one of my models is turning that truth into
Mhm.
testimony.
Right.
I'm sorry,
Right.
turning
Right.
that testimony into truth. One of my
Mhm.
models is turning that testimony into truth. And
Mhm.
so you want to start to get the lessons out of your experiences and your hardships and your failures. And then you want to be able to show the next person. That's
Mhm.
like a guiding light
Right.
out
Right.
there for that
Right.
next person to reach
Right.
that next level. So it's
Right.
a calling and it's a responsibility.
You got that right. I
Yeah.
like that. And you don't have to be perfect to walk in your purpose, right?
No,
It's
no.
not about perfection, it's about purpose.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you just have to just start uh, start where you are, pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we're perfect in our imperfections. See, the
Right,
only way it's
right.
not perfect is when we start comparing it to the next person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like we can both be speakers, we can both be authors, but your book ain't gonna be nothing like mine, and
Exactly.
likewise, right?
Exactly.
And the
And
way,
rightfully so, because it's not supposed to be like yours. That's right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we could take the same topic even that we're speaking on, but again, the unique experiences that you bring and that I bring, they're different. The
Right.
lessons are different,
Right.
and so once we stop comparing, we'll realize that everything, it's already here. It's here
Mm-hmm.
right now. Now, one of
Mm-hmm.
the hindrances to that is that people aren't surrounded by the right folks. They are
That's
surrounded by those, they say use your haters as your footstools, but they're surrounded by people that actually love them. They don't see them as haters, but yet
Mm-hmm.
they are suppressing their expression
Yeah.
because of
Yeah.
these people to keep them comfortable.
That is so true, and you got to be mindful of those folks and not let it get you down or stop you from doing what you need to do.
Mm.
Sometimes everybody can't go with you. That's the truth.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
And they know you where you are right now. They
Yeah.
don't see you elevating. They don't know why you're elevating. It's like you disrupting their world. You know,
Yes.
and so
Yeah.
they don't really know
Mhm.
how to handle that. Quite
Mm.
honestly,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
do you find the courage to use your voice when others don't quite understand? How do you do that?
Mm.
That's a
Mm.
yeah.
Well, number one, I'm a praying sister.
Come on.
you know, I have a commitment to be
Yeah.
obedient to my divine assignment.
Right. Right.
We have to be obedient to our divine assignment.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to know that our audience is waiting. As the young people say, they are thirsty,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nobody can fill their cup
Mm-hmm.
except for you, for
Mm-hmm.
those people you're supposed to impact. So I know, we have to move from what we call a competitive mindset to
Mm-hmm.
a creative mindset.
Right.
Okay. From
And
a
a collaborative
scarcity
one too. A
Mhm.
collaborative one.
From a
Right.
scarcity one to an
Mm-hmm.
abundance one. There's enough of everything. People fear the idea of, with their business, oh, Facebook, there's too much competition, it costs
Yeah.
too much,
Yeah.
things like that. But once we know with certainty that our clients, I mean, there's over 7 billion people on this
That's right.
planet. You
That's
mean to
right.
tell
That's
me
right. There's room for
I
everybody.
don't get a small percentage of that. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so those who are living and expressing their voice and living their calling,
Mm-hmm.
they adopt an abundant mindset.
Right.
You can, and if you want to doubt anything, we talked about doubts earlier. If you want to doubt anything, ladies and gentlemen, doubt your limits.
There you go.
Doubt your
I like
limits.
that. Doubt your limits. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. So giving your voice calling,
Yeah.
giving voice to your calling. Okay, let's talk about finding the calling and overcoming the fear. We talked about that a lot too. How do we give voice to the fear? How do we give our voice to that?
How do you give voice to the
To the
fear?
fear, yeah. How do you
What do you
give
mean?
voice to the fear as far as like, they say, carry, take the fear with you, like do it afraid.
Mm,
So how do you
yeah.
speak to that and just do it
Yeah,
afraid?
that's a good question because there's a law of order,
Mm-hmm.
a law of order,
Okay.
and that is like when you're putting order in, there's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how when you're doing one of them spring cleanings,
Yeah.
right? And first in the house, you like pulling everything out, so it's like it looks like a tornado hit the home, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's a necessary step before you put it all back together and clean
Right.
for the order.
Right.
So as we're putting in our calling, executing our calling, things are going to blow up.
Mm-hmm.
So the fear is an indicator that in fact you're on the right track. Did you hear what
Mm.
I said? Let me
I
repeat
did hear you. You better repeat that.
that. The
Repeat
fear
that.
is actually an indicator that you're on the right track. So
Oh
as
Lord,
you
yeah.
are stepping into your calling, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to experience anxiety. You
Mm-hmm.
going to experience confusion. You're going
Mhm.
to experience chaos. People might start blowing up around you in all kinds of ways, and you might start feeling isolated because
Mhm.
we go through something as we're stepping into this calling. But like I
Right.
said, that's an indicator. If you can
Mhm.
get up, not think about it, honey, that's just a
Mhm.
to-do list. That's
Mhm.
just a to-do
Mhm.
list. And
Mhm.
that's not it. So, one of my mentors said, if the goal doesn't scare you, it's
Mhm.
not big enough. So
Mm.
we want
Mhm.
that fear, we want that anxiety. That is an indicator that we're on
Right.
the right track.
Also because it means something to you. It's like when you're nervous or anxious about something, that's just because it means
Mhm.
something to you. You are speaking
Right.
some truth and dropping some
Yeah.
gems, girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
that will make you do it well and
Right.
practice and study and do all the things necessary to
Right.
show up correct. You
Right.
can't show up like a hot mess.
Mhm, mhm. It's
Yeah.
about owning who you are, you know.
Yeah.
I love everything that you're saying. Our experiences and our struggles really shape who we are, you know.
Yes.
You don't take it as failure. Everything is a blessing to me. Even the lessons are
Mhm.
blessings,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And once you
Yeah.
change your mindset to that and realize that, then really nothing can stop you.
Yeah, that's true. Kirk
Mhm.
Franklin saying that. There's a blessing in a
It's a
storm.
blessing in a
But when
storm.
you're in the midst of the storm, it ain't feeling like no blessing. It's feeling like a curse.
Right,
So,
right.
once you get through that, that's what we
Mhm.
have to take what I call the L. And when you take the L, that just means
Mhm.
get the lesson. Because when we don't get the lessons, we just keep bumping our head. You know what
That's
I
it.
mean?
That's it.
But
That's
God
it.
has a sense
Yeah.
of humor. He will
Yeah.
put it right back in front of you. It might look different, smell different, and all of
Yeah.
that, but it'll be
Yeah.
that same lesson until we get it.
Mhm.
And so you want to start to get the lessons from the experiences,
Mhm.
and that's where the real transformation occurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true. That's true. But you don't keep it to
Yeah.
yourself though, right? It's also
You
you
can't.
really should share your experiences because somebody needs to hear how you overcame that, what you
Right.
did, you know, because they may be going through some of the same things or know
Yes.
somebody who's experiencing those things.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important for us to share our stories, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
talk about it. And I know people have a fear of speaking and public
Yeah.
speaking and all
Yeah.
that. It's
Mm.
not really quite all about that. It's just
Mm.
really sharing a piece of who you are, you know,
Yeah.
just sharing your
Mm.
experiences and your journey with people to help the next one, you know. I think it's
Yes.
important. I
Yeah.
think that's really important.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Well,
that's
I'm all about getting paid too. For sure, we can share the story, but we got to get
yeah,
paid,
you got
right?
that right. You got that right. That's part of
And
the
that's why
calling
I'm
too. We are called to get paid.
absolutely. So I'm a high ticket coach.
Well, come
So
on.
I help people not just get on stages, but when they speak, yes, they deliver that powerful message
Yeah.
from the story, as you
Mhm.
say.
Yeah.
But we don't want to be over teaching. But
Right.
what we want to do is create a pathway, a clear pathway for
Yeah.
people to be
Mhm.
able to follow and to grow and to develop as speakers.
That's
So
right.
that's
That's
one of
right.
the things
So,
that I do
Montrella,
is I help
expand
people.
on that. Go a little deeper on
Yeah.
that on what you teach as far as that go.
Absolutely. So, first of all, Dr. LaDonya, we have to decide
Mhm.
that we're going to be a pro and not an
Mm.
amateur.
Mm. It's
Okay,
all
so
about
if
the
you
decision.
want to be a pro and not an
Mhm.
amateur, right?
Right. Right.
You have to, that's a decision. That's a major decision because a pro moves different, right?
Mm.
Like Kobe Bryant, he would get up what 4 in the morning every single day, right? Nobody can outwork a pro, right? Whereas
Mhm.
an amateur might decide to just kick back, watch some more Netflix, and talk about the latest reality TV.
Right.
So there's a
Right.
difference. Like when we wake up with an intention, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
as a pro, we have to decide, are we going to be the dollar store? Or are we going to be like the Bloomingdales? Like we have to
Okay.
decide. And so part of that is what we were talking about earlier is you have to know that you're worthy of
Yes.
a high
Yes.
ticket. You have to know that
Absolutely.
you're worthy to get paid proper. And you have to
Absolutely.
know that you're worthy to invest in yourself properly too. See, a lot of us we're holding on, we won't spend $5,000 or $10,000 in our own development. So how would you expect your
Mm.
customer to do that?
Exactly.
How would
Exactly.
you expect your customer to do that? Now, if you do that, if you every mentor I have, I've spent over $100,000 in my own personal development, and it's been all worth it. That's how you 10x your income.
Mhm.
But some
Mhm.
people, I mean, they won't even invest $1,000 in themselves.
Yeah.
So how
Yeah.
would you expect the customer to get that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a pro, you do it different. You wake up with
Mhm.
intention. You invest in yourself.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
surround yourself with other high valued folks who know their
Right.
worth.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Take an
Yeah.
investment
So
in
that's
yourself.
important.
It's really important to invest in yourself.
Yes.
At that point, it's all about you.
Yes.
It's like, what do you
Yeah.
really want out of life, and what do you really,
Yeah.
how do you really want to
Yeah.
move? It's about moving in purpose and moving with intention. So, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And have a higher income, a higher impact, and
Mhm.
higher influence because it's about creating a legacy, right?
Mhm.
For the
Mhm.
baby, right?
Yeah.
We want to start,
Yeah.
we have to stop passing down tragedy and
Mhm.
start creating a wealth legacy.
Mhm. Mhm. That's right.
And so that takes intention, and that requires us to decide that we're no longer playing in an amateur league, but that
Right.
we're professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking on that, so
Absolutely.
so okay, so since you say that, so what are some practical ways to really get to that point? Give us some practical ways to think on that level, to shift that mindset, to um, share that message. Whether we want to speak, write,
Mhm.
leadership, whatever we're doing in our lives to
Right.
build ourselves up and build other people up. What are
Yes.
some practical ways to shift our mindset to think that way, to be a pro, as you say?
Yeah, absolutely. So number one, we have to stop oversharing.
Mm,
We're oversharing. We're
mhm,
inundating people with our story. And so the
mm,
way you do that, you have to start to turn your mess into a message,
mhm,
right? So when we tell a story, like when we're speaking, you have to, every story needs a point, and
mhm.
every point should have a story. And that's
Okay,
it. So we're
okay.
not doing dissertations. But what you see for a lot of amateurs when it comes to speaking,
Yeah, yeah.
they are given dissertations, they're given their entire life stories. You're going to lose your audience in the first 5 minutes.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. So we got to
Mhm,
learn to turn a mess into a message,
mhm,
tell a story with a point
mhm,
with the story. So that's
mhm,
one piece of it that I think when I observe other speakers and the people that come in and work with me, that's what
mhm,
I notice the most. They've spent so much time
mhm.
giving people what they think they need. So that's point
Okay.
two.
Yeah.
You got to stop giving people what we think they want,
Mhm,
what we think they need rather,
mhm.
and give them what they want. See, the market will tell you what they want.
Mm,
Okay. So if I'm
mhm.
so caught up in my story, I'm pretty much giving to you what I think you need,
Okay, okay.
but you're already telling me what you want.
Mhm,
So as a high value speaker
mhm.
with a high ticket offer, you're going to have to start to listen to the market because they'll absolutely tell you what you want and then
Mm.
give them what they want. Are
Right.
you following with
I
me?
am following you. That's right. That's right.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes.
That's some
That's
good
important.
practical teaching right there.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Thank
Because
you
once
for
you
that.
give them what
Yeah.
they want, they'll pay for it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They'll buy
Yeah.
into it because they'll
Mhm.
believe in it.
Absolutely. That's what
Yeah.
they want.
That's what they
We
want.
always pay for what we want. I always say that we
We
ain't got no
always
money
pay for
for
what we want.
absolutely.
That
They
is
do
so
that.
true. That is so true.
Absolutely.
That is so true. All
Yes.
right. So before we close out, just hang tight for a word from our sponsor. What if success wasn't just about what you achieve, but who you become? At our Win Global Enterprises, we empower visionaries, gladiators, and leaders to unlock their full potential. Because winning isn't just about reaching the finish line, it's about embracing the journey. The journey of self discovery begins with the right guide. Infinity, Eternity, and Serendipity is a transformative trilogy designed to awaken purpose, illuminate the path, and embrace the unexpected miracles of life. Your destiny is waiting. Are you ready to step into it? I Win Global Enterprises, where inspiration meets action and dreams become reality. I Win Global Enterprises. Live life inspired, lead boldly, win authentically. Okay, guys, welcome back to Girl Talk. Whoo, this conversation has been very enlightening. Montrella, you have been dropping some nuggets, some gems throughout this conversation. I'm just full for everything that you just said. You have really taught a lot and opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I hope you guys have been getting really inspired and taking down some notes because she has really said some valuable things and some takeaways for all of us to learn and gather together and not just
Mhm.
hold it for ourselves, but to share with other people, right? So, my trailer, your words of wisdom is just so on point. And so, before we wrap it up, I have one more thing for you or to ask of you. Uh, can you share with our audience one action step that they can take away today? One action
Mm.
step that they can take away today that will
Mm.
move them to get closer to their purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. One. Woo, just
Mhm.
one.
Just one, just one. You gave a
What?
lot of nuggets, but what's really a big one that they can really
Yeah.
take home today with them?
Well, I would have to say decide. Because once you make the
Mhm.
decision that you're
Mhm.
going to be a high ticket speaker and
Mhm.
make a huge impact and make lots of money,
Mhm.
that's a decision. That's a
Mhm.
decision. So you want to decide. And once you decide, this is who I am,
Mhm.
this is my calling, I'm
Mhm.
going to fulfill it, then the other steps would follow. But the
Mhm.
number one thing is just deciding.
Mhm.
And so for with that decision is a lot of behind the scenes work with that. Number one, again, we got to know our own worth and value. Because if
Correct.
you don't believe in you, nobody
Mm.
else will trust you to lead
Yes,
them, to guide
absolutely.
them. So once you know that,
Absolutely.
then you decide to go pro. And professionals, we do high ticket offers. And that
Mhm.
way you're going to be working with the people you want to be working with.
Mhm.
You know, the people that want, because what they say, people who pay attention.
They do. People who pay attention. That
Yeah.
is true.
And so now you're not frustrated because you're not earning enough money and like
Mhm.
you're doing all this work and you're barely making a profit and you're stressed out and you're under delivering. But when you're
Mm.
offering a high ticket offer because you're deciding to do so, you are going to pull in people who are paying attention and then you're going to be able to deliver at a higher level, higher
Right. Right.
quality.
Right.
So decide, just decide.
Just decide. I
Yeah.
like that. As
Yeah.
simple as that. Just
Yeah.
decide. That's
Yeah.
the
And then
first
we're
step.
here. We're here as coaches to help
Yeah.
guide you along the way. Ain't no need to
Yeah.
reinvent the wheel. There's no need for that.
Amen to that. Amen to
Yeah.
that. Y'all hear that? Just decide. That's the
Yeah.
first step. Just
Yes.
decide. So, Montrella, tell the audience how are they able to connect with you? How can they reach
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
for your services or just connect with you? How are they able to reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can, the best way to reach out to me now is through my masterclass. I have a 7-figure speaker masterclass. So you can literally go 7figurespeakermasterclass.com and
Okay.
register for the next class. And it is free. And
Mhm.
we will show you the actual practical methodology that I've created that has helped to generate over $4 million in speaking.
Well, you better come on, Miss Trump. Okay, I got you. We got to talk. We got to talk after the talk, after the girl talk. Remember, guys, you are not to play small. The first thing you need to do is to decide, right? You heard her. You heard her
Mhm.
right here. She said decide and
Yeah.
find your voice, because you have that special gift that nobody else have, that the world needs. And I think that
Mhm.
that's very important. So
Yeah.
thank you, Montrella. This has
Thank
been
you.
wonderful, very enlightening, fun. You are a gem
Mhm.
yourself. So I just thank you for your time and coming on
Yeah.
here and just sharing and pouring to us. And for me, thank you for being a blessing to me as well.
Yeah.
I
Well,
really
thank
truly
you.
enjoyed this conversation. Yeah, this was great.
Absolutely. Yeah,
This
the
this
audience is
was
very
great.
blessed to have you. It was
Thank you.
wonderful to
Thank
have
you.
Girl Talk with you today.
Oh, you are so
Keep doing the
wonderful.
work you're
Thank
doing.
you, sis. I
Thank
appreciate that.
you.
I appreciate that. I'm your girl, Dr. Donya Yvette. And if you like this episode, please like, subscribe, and comment on here. Make sure you stay connected with us. I would love that to have you chime in. We really want to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe and be a part of this community of Girl Talk. And if you also want to connect with us on our social media side, just On Facebook, we are under Girl Talk on Facebook. That is quote unquote Girl Talk on Facebook. It's been a pleasure having you guys here again. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Girl Talk. Thank you for tuning in to Girl Talk, where every voice matters and every story inspires.
Maybe crazy. Oh, but you still amaze me.